And we are here with a historical challenge for the first time in FHM 10. I know it's been a while since I've done one of these. I tried them in FHM 9, but unfortunately there was that issue with the, with the likability ratings. Like almost every player's likability rating was for some reason dropping to 0. And that was making it basically unplayable because of all the team harmony issues that were happening. And it wasn't just for my teams either. It was every team in the league that was suffering from this. And it was a disaster. But now apparently that's been fixed from what I see on the patch notes. So we're going to give this another try. And we're going to be using the Winnipeg Jets for our first challenge of FHM 10. The NHL's return to Winnipeg only extended the franchise's playoff drought before finally breaking 7 years of frustration with a playoff appearance in the 2014-15 season. To beat the challenge, take the recently relocated 2011-12 Jets and improve on that performance by making the playoffs no later than 2013-14. But assuming we can reach that goal, then we'll try to extend that goal even further by trying to win the Stanley Cup. All right, so first order of business here is getting the coaching staff in order, because we appear to have some pretty terrible assistant coaches. Wade Flaherty, low with coaching prospects. Charlie Huddy with below average for coaching prospects and offensive training, and only average for defensive training. Andre Peters appears to be our best assistant coach at the moment as our offensive coach. And then Pascal Vincent as our skill coach, low and poor. Gotta replace him too for sure. Yeah, that's not great. If anything, he could be a scout, but even as a scout, he wouldn't be the greatest. So I think I'll just release him. So we're down to Andre Peters and Jimmy Roy. Oof. Yeah, not ideal. I might even replace Peters, to be honest, because that player management at 2 is not good for team harmony. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to release Peters too. Just start fresh. This is it for the coaching pool. This is the saddest crop of coaches I think I've ever seen. It's almost nothing but very poor coaches in free agency. So we're off to a great start already. So the best coaches here are scouts. Pat Burns in particular. Yeah, to 20 motivation and still 3 player management. So it seems like we're going to be basically out of luck here as far as player management goes. So may as well just hire Pat Burns. Oh, you got Ken Hitchcock as well. Yeah, I think we're going to have to hire him. I mean, I don't know of any other coach that I've seen that has this kind of miscellaneous category, or even these kind of coaching ratings for that matter. So yeah, Hitchcock as well. Ooh, Jacques Lemaire. Yeah. Bob Gainey looks all right as well. I guess in hindsight, Peters wasn't that bad. Craig McTavish is average all around, so I guess he wouldn't be too bad. There's Daryl Sutter as well. Yeah, in fact, I think I'll hire Daryl Sutter. He'll be good for the forwards. Bruce Cassidy, not good with the miscellaneous ratings. Let's see, who have we got? We have Pat Burns, Ken Hitchcock, Jacques Lemaire, and Daryl Sutter. Let's see, is there any other coaches out there who would be good for a head coaching job? Probably not, based off what I've seen. Yeah, at this point, it's between Hitchcock and Lemaire for the head coach job. Hitchcock's got the better motivation and discipline. Lemaire's got the better tactics. I think I want Hitchcock for the head coach job. All right, with that out of the way, let's take a quick look at the roster. In goal, you got Pavlich and Pasquale. On defense, you have Enstrom, Bufflin, Hainsey, Bogosian, Oduya, Stewart, and Postma. And at forward, you have Wheeler, Ladd, Little, Slater, Kane, Thorburn, Wellwood, Gagnon, Maxwell, Glass, McArdle, Makachek, Klingberg, and Burmistrov. Let's see, who else do we have in the system? Menino, Mason, Kasdorf, Artur Skulda, Meach, Flood, Festerling. All right, so it doesn't look like too many good prospects as of right now from what I'm seeing. Gregoire, Jaffray, Samuels Thomas. Yeah, not a lot of good prospects there. I mean, obviously there's Scheifele. There's the 18-year-old Mark Scheifele. Albert. Yeah, besides Scheifele, not a whole lot going on here. I mean, there's Adam Lowry at 18 years old. Only a 2-star potential though. Keem Aliu, Brett McLean, Austin Broussard. Really not a lot going on here. As far as winning the cup goes, this would be a tough challenge, but considering the fact that it's just making the playoffs, I mean, you never know. Maybe with a team like this, we might be able to squeeze in to like 7th or 8th. Right, this is when the divisions were still, you still had 6 divisions there, the old playoff format. So to start out, just really quick, I'm going to go over player personalities on my own and see who I do not want on the roster starting things out here. All right, no problems in goal. Bufflin, a little prone to controversy, but that's fine. Hainsey does not handle big game pressure well. That's not a good sign. Might want to consider flipping him. So on defense, Hainsey's the one I'm considering moving at the moment. Wheeler does not perform well in big games. I mean, he is our best player as far as forwards go, I would say. Brian Little will have serious difficulty performing in big game situations. So that's the second forward we've seen that on, unfortunately. Gagnon, the same thing. Will have difficulty performing in big game situations. Maxwell, the same thing. Same for Carl Klingberg. All right, so quite a few forwards with that trait. Yeah, I think I might want to sign a couple of forwards out of free agency here because our forward core is not looking great. Now, we have nothing on any of these guys, so signing any of them would just be a swing in the dark. But considering the state of our forward core, that is a chance I'm willing to take. So Zubov, terrible contract quality apparently, being 3.7. How much cap space do we have? We have 36.6 right now. The floor is 38, so we have to spend no matter what. And the ceiling, it appears as of right now, is 70 mil, 7.7. Although that's probably the off-season cap. Like, that's going to go down when the regular season starts. How much does Mahler want? That's all right. That's good. Yeah, I think I'll do that. I'll go 1.9 for 3 years. I guess I'll sign Zubov. I mean, I know it says terrible contract quality, but I mean, it's not like we have anywhere else to throw that money right now anyway. And we have plenty of cap space. So I'll go 3.75 for 3 years. I think I'll sign a defenseman, Antti Salmela. Terrible contract quality apparently, but I'll see if I could take him down a little bit. Something I'm noticing in contract negotiations, and I'm pretty sure this went back to last year too in FHM 9, is that sometimes, and I don't know what triggers it, but sometimes when you give the player an offer, sometimes they'll counter with something even lower than what you offered, which doesn't really make much sense to me, but it's something I've noticed that happens occasionally, and it is a bit weird. And that's actually what just happened with Salmela. So, and again, I don't know what causes that, but that's certainly a bit weird there. And then I think I'll go with Frolov. That's a no trade clause. I mean, at least he's not asking for too much money. Yeah, sure, I'll give you that. All that combined should take us above the salary floor. Then I may as well sign a veteran in goal, Antti Niittymaki. Only asking for 1.09. For 3 years, and the contract quality is great, so I will give him that. So I think with that being done, we'll see if we get everybody, and assuming we do, we will advance to the first regular season with your Winnipeg Jets. Yeah, I think I'm going to pick up Tim Thomas here. I think he would be a nice veteran complement to Pavlich, and if Pavlich doesn't perform in the playoffs, then we can get Tim Thomas in there, assuming we make the playoffs. You know, I mean, that's obviously the first order of business. And I think I'll send down Burmistrov because he's apparently not ready for this level, which is understandable as a 1-star ability. Then I'll also send Pasquale down. And that leaves us with 23. And I believe we did indeed get all those guys. So I'll send Niittymaki down. I'll send Postma down. And then I think these forwards down here are all going to have to play for the roster spot. Not sure who to send down yet. So with that, I think we'll make our way to the preseason. All right, let's see. Who's going to be our captains? I think it's got to be Ladd. He was our captain in real life, right? Set him as the captain. Wheeler as an alternate. Then I'm going to say Bufflin as the second alternate. All right, as far as the remaining forwards go, I think I'll send down Makacek. Wasn't too impressive defensively. I think I'll send down McArdle. And according to the training page, everybody else is capable of playing at this level. I think it's got to be Klingberg. So that trims our roster to 23. And this will be the starting roster of your Winnipeg Jets heading into the 2011-2012 season. In goal, you have Pavlich and Thomas. On defense, you have Enstrom, Bufflin, Hainsey, Bogosian, Salmela, Oduya, and Stewart. And at forward, Wheeler, Ladd, Little, Slater, Kane, Antropov, Thorburn, Frolov, Wellwood, Mahler, Gagnon, Maxwell, Zubov, and Glass. All right, so review after 1 month. It seems like our defensemen are doing well defensively, at the very least, so that's good. Forwards, Kane and Wheeler are doing well. Ladd appears to be doing well with his offensive grade, but not much else going on here. Little with 0 points in 5 games played so far. Antropov only with 1 point in 11. Yeah, we're going to have our work cut out for us here, it looks like. Slater, despite being a 3.5-star ability, is only at 3 points. I mean, I guess he's mostly a defensive guy there, but still. Yeah, not a good start. We're 4-5-2. So we are currently last in the Southeast Division. Good news is, though, we haven't fallen too far behind. I mean, Tampa, who's an 8th in the conference, has 11 points. We have 10. With the way we've been simulating, I'm not expecting us to make the playoffs, but it's still possible, so I might end up making a trade sooner rather than later. I didn't even see Antropov's individual ratings. It looks like he's, yeah, not very good in any one category there. So I wonder how he's got that 3-star ability, because that certainly does not look like a 3-star player to me. We're 7-10-3 now. I don't want to fall too far behind, and we're already starting to get there. We're 4 points behind the New Jersey Devils right now, who are in 8th. And we are currently only above Tampa in points in the conference. Let's check the stats. Kane with 23 points, Wheeler with 16, Ladd with 13. Yeah, really not a whole lot of scoring going on here in Winnipeg. Oh no, Little. Only 1 point in 14 games for Brian Little. Ouch. That's rough. He had 48 points the year before. I know that was real life, but still, that's not a good look so far for Brian Little. Antropov as well, only 3 points in 20 games. Yeah, I think I'm going to trade Antropov. He's not good defensively either. Only a 49 defensive grade. Only issue is there's no players of use that are on the trade block here. There's Malhotra, but as far as offensive ability goes, he's not much better than Antropov. Only 2 points so far in 17 games. Yeah, if we're getting a player here by a trade, it's not going to be one that's on the trade block. I mean, I know we're a defensive team because we got a defensive coach with Hitchcock, but still, even a defensive team shouldn't be this offensively inept. Let's actually check the team stats because I'm pretty sure that the goals for per game is going to back me up on this. Where are we? I mean, we're 19th in the league. I mean, at least we're not last, but it's not good either. Yeah, a lot to consider here in Winnipeg so far. And the problem is we don't really have that much time to do a full-blown rebuild, you know? We only got to the 2013-14 season. So if we're making a trade for anything for Antropov, it's got to be a player who can step in right away, you know? All right, we have quite the trade lined up here with the Buffalo Sabres. To Buffalo will be Antropov, Little, Glass, and 2 second-round picks for Christian Ehrhoff at 50% of his salary retained, Jason Pominville at 50% of his salary retained, and Drew Stafford at 45% of his salary retained. This is a massive trade. Antropov has not been producing this year, only 3 points in 20 games played. Brian Little, same thing. I know he's young, but he's really not been good so far. Not a good simulator. Tanner Glass, and he's more of the enforcer archetype. So it's understandable that he's not producing offensively, but we really need some guys who can produce offensively right now. And in addition to this 2 second-round picks, I mean, we have a limited time here, so I'm not going to be waiting around for any second-round picks to turn out. And then Ehrhoff, 3.5-star ability, 29 years of age. Personality is okay. Career stats, he has 8 points on the season so far, 74 grade. And I believe a lot of that is due to his defense. And then Jason Pominville, their captain, I believe. 4-star ability, 28 years of age, pretty good personality, but he will apparently have difficulty performing in big game situations. So I'm a little bit worried about that. Although that seems to be a common trend among players in this time period, as Stafford also has that. But look at Stafford, he's a 3.5-star ability, 26 years of age, very well rounded. And that is certainly quite the trade, so we'll see what they say. They have accepted our offer. So once again, Antropov, Little, Glass, and 2 second-round picks for Ehrhoff and Pominville at 50% of their salary, and Drew Stafford also at 45% of his salary retained. A complete trade. My goodness, that is probably the biggest trade we'll make in this challenge. So let's see our new lines with our new guys in there. Ehrhoff on the first pair, Stafford on the first line, Pominville on the second line. I would say that was a good trade. I mean, we'll see how it happens in the simulation, but I think that will only benefit us. And yeah, as expected, Ehrhoff's grade is mostly from his defensive ability, 86 defensive grade. And Pominville's good defensively as well, 76 defensive grade. Stafford's got the 62 offensive grade and at 14 points so far this season. So I'm expecting big things now. I'm expecting that we'll at the very least be able to stay competitive this year. Oh dear, Ehrhoff injured 1 to 2 months. Figures. We go and trade for him and then he gets injured like 2 weeks later. It's how it goes sometimes, I guess, but that is unfortunate. Let's see how he's doing in a Winnipeg uniform. 4 points, -1, 68 grade. All right, to the injury list you go. Oh, look at this. We're on a winning streak here. Let's see our schedule. Win, 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 win. We're on a 4-game winning streak. I believe that is our biggest winning streak this season. And then going back to earlier in the month, starting with Carolina, we're 7 for our last 8. Not bad. So let's keep that going. All right, it's January 1st. We are 18, 15, and 5. Only 2 points outside the playoffs as of right now. And a look at the team stats. I want to see if that trade really helped. I mean, obviously, Ehrhoff went down with that injury. But at the moment, we are actually 11th in goals for per game with a 2.58. And goals against per game, we are 13th with a 2.34. Power play, we're 12th in the league with a 15.9. And penalty kill, we are 14th in the league with an 86.1. So if we could keep this going, I wouldn't be surprised if we end up in a playoff spot at some point soon. And with that, let's resume the simulation. Hey, Airhoff's back. All right, good. Maxwell claimed. I didn't think he would get claimed. I just set him down because I wanted to roll with 8 defensemen for the time being, but that's unfortunate. I mean, he wasn't that good anyway. That's why I set him down, but still unfortunate to lose a asset like that. Oh, you got to be joking. Another injury for Airhoff. 1 to 2. What, 1 to 2 months? What's his injury tendencies? Normal? Are you kidding me? It seems like he should be vulnerable or fragile at this point. Okay, back to the injury list. I mean, he's been good when he's been in, but when he's been in is the key. Oh, we're in the playoff spot at the moment. I mean, it's very close. There is currently a 1 point difference between 7th and 11th. So that could very well change at any moment, but it is certainly possible. If we go on a winning streak, I would say we could probably catch up to Montreal and Florida, maybe the Islanders. So we have an opportunity to complete the challenge this season. Trade deadline's on the 27th. We may as well go there. Just like that, we dropped down to 11th. Yeah, that's the kind of season it's going to be, it looks like. It's going to be a tight race to the finish here in the Eastern Conference, at least. Come on, Airhoff, buddy. I need you to come back. That'll be our trade deadline acquisition, is Airhoff. Because with the amount of time he spent on the injury list this year, he may as well be our trade deadline acquisition. I'm just going to take a quick look at the trading block. If there's no one there, then I think, ooh, hold on. Wisnowski, 3.5 star ability. Very good offensively this year, 41 points. Ooh, I might want to consider that. I mean, I know he's 35, but you know what? We got 3 years here, so may as well take a swing at some veterans. We're getting him for peanuts, basically. Mark Stewart going the other way, as Wisnowski obviously on defense. So got to open up a slot for him. Actually, let me just check Stewart's defensive grade, 73. And how is that compared to Wisnowski, 65? I mean, we need offense in the worst way right now. So that's a trade-off I'm willing to make, especially since we have 8 active defensemen. Then the rights to John Albert, who we're not going to be using, and a 7th round pick for Lubomir Wisnowski. I think for a rental veteran who's got 41 points on the season so far, that's a steal. Yeah, I will absolutely do that. Offer trade. Finalized. There you go. I mean, that puts Wisnowski 4th on our team in scoring. He's got 41 points. The most points on our team right now is Kane with 47. All right, I think that's all I'm going to do, honestly. That was a really solid trade for Mr. Wisnowski there. And once we get Airhoff back, then I think we'll be in a good spot. So yeah, that's all I'm doing. Because it's not like we're that far behind, right? We're only 3 points back of the playoff spot right now. We could very easily slide in, but we could also just as easily slide back. So I guess it's really dependent on if Airhoff can stay healthy and if we can go on a winning streak here. So let's do just that. Ooh, we're 5 points back now. We are getting towards the end of the season now. We're 75 games in. We have Ottawa, New York, Carolina, Tampa, Florida, Islanders, and Tampa. Ooh, Bufflin injured. That's not a good time. That's not a good time. At least it's day to day, but not a good time to get an injury to a key player like him. However, we have 3 wins in a row there, but we're still 4 points behind. Are you kidding me? 3 games left. We got to win all 3 of them. We have to. There's no other way. Florida is a loss. We're not making it. There's no way. We'll win against New York and against Tampa. Loss. Yeah, we're not in. That's unfortunate. Yeah, we finished with 87 points. The Islanders finished with 92, so yeah, we weren't making it no matter what. Even if we had won those other 2 games, we still would have finished with 91. So that's unfortunate. But you know what? We definitely improved with the trades that we made. So I think if we can improve even more through free agency, then we should be able to give it a good run next year. Before we end things off, we may as well check the stats. Kane with 58 points, so he was our top scorer this season. That's a bit rough. 52 for Wheeler and Pominville, 43 for Wisnowski, 38 for Ladd, 37 for Bufflin, 34 for Renstrom. Yeah, really not pretty scoring wise here. In goal, you have a 921 for Pavlich, 909 for Thomas. And with that, I think we'll end things off here. And the next one, we will go through year number 2 with your Winnipeg Jets. See you guys then.